Impressive numbers? Think about this. They do this type of video once a year. In 2010, when they first did this one, the numbers of Facebook users was somewhere approaching 300 million. That was in 2010. It is now just approaching 900 million. Almost 1 billion people using Facebook. That's just one aspect of social media. Social media tools give you the opportunity to talk about a specific subject in a different way. I love this written up on the wall one day during one of our meetings, and that just nails it right down. Unfortunately, it was also in front of a bunch of police officers. The irony just wasn't lost on, unfortunately. But you have a whole bunch of different applications, and you're all having a different way of communicating it, but it's all about the same subject. I like donuts. Here's how I use a donut. Here's the things I like about the specific donut. Here's the industry that creates this donut. It's all about the donut, but it's also about how you present it. I'm sure that when you go and talk to specific clients, the person who's making $30,000 a year doesn't get talked to the same way as a person who's making $1 million a year in business. You don't speak in the same terminologies to that person. You're still talking about the same subject, but you're not talking to them in the exact same way. When you start talking about things in social media with people who are either in the industry or out of the industry and know that you need to be into it, you're going to get backed. You're going to get the hit. You've got to have Flickr and this Pinterest and the Google Plus and the Facebook and the Twitter, and are you using that, or using this and using the other thing. And by the time it's like, okay, there's either going to be two things that happen here. I'm either going to have my head explode or I'm going to throttle the person in front of me. It's just too much. What you need in order to get into social media and actually utilize it properly, there are only 3 things. So when they start coming at you with all of this stuff, just push it aside. What you need to start off with is Twitter. Twitter is very simple to use. 140 character conversations. Okay, not 140 words, 140 characters. Yes?
Just going to ask a question. Again, I'm really in kindergarten, so talk down to me. But why do I care what somebody thinks about a donut or a restaurant or a meal? Why do I want to be a part of that? Thank you.
This is the part, and you're right. Thank you very much for bringing that up. Most people that are unfamiliar with social media say, look, I really don't give a rat's ass whether or not you're having a bowl of soup in the morning. But do you care about the person who's going, I really hate my financial advisor? Probably. Or are you really interested in hearing, I've just come into $50,000 of money from an uncle passing away. I have no idea what to do with that.
Would somebody put that on the internet?
Absolutely.
Isn't that a dumb thing to do?
Absolutely. No. People will put absolutely everything online these days. Teenagers more than anything else. But, and you'll see it here in one of the demonstrations. But if people have a thought or a concern, that's where they put it.
But they're not putting that instantaneously. You don't have to be looking at that right away when that's been posted, or how do you?
No. With the tools that are available and the applications that are available, you can search for specific things. The people that you end up following are the ones that you're probably going to see the most. The thing is that you're not just following a person simply because they're looking for a financial aid. This is a conversation. You wouldn't go up to a person if you were walking by them on the street and they were talking to a friend of theirs and they were saying, you know, I'm so tired of this financial agent that I've got. He couldn't find his ass with his 2 hands if he had a GPS and somebody to hold his hand. You wouldn't walk up to that person on the street, having never met them, and say, listen, maybe you and I should talk. right? There's that in my space, you're listening to my stuff, why are you here? In Twitter, somebody is saying that to everybody. And you have absolutely every opportunity to say, whoa, what's the problem? Right? And then they're going to take a look at who you are and say, oh, he's a financial aid. And maybe type back to you and say, look, here's my issue. Look, send me a direct message with your phone number. I'll give you a call.
So you can actually cripple somebody just as much as you can help them.
You can, oh yeah, trust me, Air Canada just about hit that right in the head about 4 years ago when they delivered a child and his mother to New York. And they busted his wheelchair because he was a paraplegic. And they left him in his hotel in New York for 4 days with no chair. They weren't going to replace it. And they're just like, well, it's damaged. But it was a $3,000 chair. And he couldn't get around. He's in New York City for the first time. He couldn't get around. His mother tweeted out, she only had like 300 followers. She tweeted out how upset she was with Air Canada. And that got picked up by a social media guy named Scott Stratton, who has somewhere in the area of about 1 million followers. And he tweeted out, whoa, Air Canada, sort it out. Within 24 hours, they not only had a chair, they had a brand new chair.
How did he pick up on that conversation? How did
He was following this woman.
She had 300 followers.
And he just happened to be one of them. Okay? The business coach here, she put up her Twitter address up on the wall. And I just tweeted out to friends of mine saying, hey, it was a pretty good business presentation by Rosemary Smith. Okay? That just went out to 4,000 people that I follow or they follow me. Just like that. That's the power of it. So Twitter is the short conversation that allows you to connect and kind of get involved in conversations, but it's about the engagement. It's not about pushing your product, your service. It's about engaging in the conversation and offering that as part of it down the road.
So how do you get people to follow you?
That's a talent. But there are also ways to do it. The other one you want to check out is LinkedIn.
Hold on, you got to answer that question.
Well, that's part of the presentation.
Okay.
And there's actually very simple ways to do it. Right? One of the things that a lot of people are discovering slowly is that if you're going to network with somebody, how do you network with them when you're at a networking group? You get somebody to introduce you, right? So up in Campbell River, there's two of us, myself and Dave Reynolds, who's a radio jockey. There you go. Okay, and Dave's a great example we'll get into. New business starts up, we tweet it. Within a day, they've got 50 new followers. Because people follow us and we say, hey, check these guys out, they're new in town. Up they go. Now, I know how to connect with certain people. I've got a network called Us Guys that I connect in with a regular basis. I started up my business, I can put it out there saying I've started it up. I put 500 followers on my Twitter account in 3 hours. Because I just happen to know these same people from another account. So if you're going to start up with a business, you find somebody that is good with social media and connect with them. Create a relationship with them, they're going to share that relationship out with everybody they know. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the professional's version of Facebook. Okay? This is a place where you as a professional within any particular industry is going to set up an account and put up your CV, have conversations with your peers, look into various opportunities that come up. It works like Facebook, but it's specifically designed for the professionals in any industry. It's so important now that the SFU Master's Business Administration program, in order to take it, you have to have a LinkedIn account. Right? If you don't have a LinkedIn account, you're not allowed to start.
How do you figure out how to work that? You get all these invitations, and it's hard to find somebody to share how to make it go.
Yeah, you hire me. Yeah, there are a lot of people out there that can assist you with the variety of tools that are out there. But do you remember the video? What was the second largest search engine in the world?
YouTube.
Why?
Well, I know how to do this.
If you want to know how to do something, you go to YouTube. I'm going to go talk to the guy who showed me how to do this linking up of my Bluetooth to my iPhone and iPad. Have a couple of words with him because I watched it on YouTube. Okay? But what you're looking for is usually out there somewhere. It's just a matter of connecting into it. So there is, in fact, a YouTube video on how to create a LinkedIn account. And the tools that are within that LinkedIn account that will help you connect with more people. Currently, I've been using LinkedIn now for about 4 or 5 years, and I hadn't really got into it too much until about a year ago. And I've only got about 320 connections. But all of those connections that I have a value to what I do. They may be related to social media, they may be related to technology, they may be related to some form of business, but I've actually managed to get social media clients through LinkedIn referrals. Okay, so your business community is working for you. It's a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week, 365 days a year business networking.
How labor intensive are these tools?
They're as labor intensive as you want them to be. The key thing about social media is your content and putting that content in. In fact, you only need to spend maybe an hour a day. It doesn't have to be 1 hour. Throughout the day, you put in an hour's worth of checking out, seeing what's being tweeted, check the Facebook page, check